Ringside Report, brought to you by Sports Cream. When muscles hurt, rub in Sports Cream for fast pain relief. And we take a look at the boxing headlines for this week. McCalling Don King, Road Revenge, and Nacho Camacho. Well, the heavyweight division was shuffled. Dave Bontempo and Oliver Mccall will make his first title defense. He's taking on a guy named Peter McNeely. Peter who?
Peter who? He's got contract obligations to Don King. That's who Peter who is. You know, we talk about the fighters all the time, but what goes on behind the scenes with the promoters is an epic battle as well. Don King now has a piece of the heavyweight title in the first time in more than 4 years, actually just about 4 years. He had everything with Mike Tyson. Dan Duva came in, went the hard way, the long way with Evander Holyfield, made him #1. And then after Evander Holyfield won the title, he fought 5 non-Don King opponents, and now King is back. He gets it with Peter McNeely. Every fight you see in the WBC will be a Don King promoted fighter.
Well, Peter McNeely somehow rose to 20th in the rankings in the WBC this summer after he signed with Don King. And Mike Tyson, well, he has waived an appeal hearing next month, and he's scheduled to be released in May. What's the story there?
Well, Bob, he served so much of the time anyway, so why not just wait a little bit longer instead of going through that exhaustive process? It has taken so long now, he pretty much has to serve his full term out. And Mike Tyson, we go back and talk about that WBC title now. Don King has that, and he will be keeping it warm for Mike Tyson for whenever he gets out.
All right, at the Scope in Norfolk, Virginia tomorrow night, Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker takes on Buddy McGirt. Now, back in March, it was Whitaker who won a unanimous decision against McGirt, but McGirt says he's now healthy.
And McGirt losing that one on his home turf. That was in New York. Whitaker showing the sweet pea jabbing ability, the quick hands. McGirt said he had a problem later on with his rotator cuff, and that was diagnosed by doctors. He feels that will make a big difference, and he'll win the rematch, that it affected him in the first fight. But now, Bob, he's got to go on the road and do it in Sweet Pea Whitaker's hometown in Norfolk.
Well, for Sweet Pea Whitaker, this will be his 15th world title fight. And more importantly, Pernell Whitaker gets $2.5 million for this fight. Buddy McGirt will get $600,000. Now we move to the man they call Macho Camacho. We call him Nacho. He was in action earlier this week. Very unimpressive.
Bob, he weighed 153 pounds, quite a lot for Hector Camacho, and he did score an early knockdown, look good in some other rounds. But people were wondering about that weight. Is he going to campaign up there? Did not show all the speed, vintage Hector Camacho. Remember, he had titles down in the 130-pound weight class, and he did not look as good moving up, say, as Roberto Duran did.
Well, he's at 32 years of age, but you have to figure he'll eventually get another title shot because of who he is.
Certainly who he is, as he'll bring a lot of pageantry to the table. Certainly the best dressed and most provocative of any fighter who goes into the ring. You certainly know it's him as soon as he goes up the steps with the wild headgear and everything like that. His flair for promotion will get him another big title shot, but he certainly wants to look better than he has in recent efforts.
All right, in one of our upcoming future fights here on ESPN, we'll get a look at Johnny Tapia. He'll be fighting in the Pit in Albuquerque, New Mexico, fighting on his home turf, and that will be right here on ESPN October 12th. Should be a dandy.
Johnny Tapia has been hot ever since he has come back from his drug problems. He's had an active schedule. He's fought very well, and he gets another step in that direction in the next fight.
Well, Tapia going for the vacant WBO Super Flyweight Championship. He'll be taking on Henry Martinez. Tapia 26-0-1 with 16 knockouts. He just brings a lot to the table. Fun to watch.
When he is on, he's one of the finest craftsmen in boxing.
So that's October 12th right here on ESPN's Top Rank Boxing. We're going to look at Johnny Tapia. Well, on Wednesday night, we shift gears and move to Atlantic City, New Jersey. We'll get a look at Charles the Natural Murray.
Charles Murray lost his title this year, trying to get it back now.
He lost his title earlier this year to Jake Rodriguez, who'll be taking on Ray Oliveira. And Oliveira also lost to Rodriguez this year. It should be an interesting fight. It's Wednesday night, October the 5th, here on ESPN. And the Ringside Report has been brought to you by Sports Cream. When muscles hurt...